Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So I did get asked if I could actually do a look at the Allied perspective in the Focus Pacific mod. I will link a actual link down below. I do have permission to do so for actually playing the mod. I may have to actually go ahead and just actually set up like some sort of turn. I don't know how it fares with the AI, but it'd be nice just to try it out, just to see what happens, really. And maybe in the future this could be like another play by email against another player. But it's a hell of a project. There's a lot, obviously, to take into consideration, just the sheer bloody scale of it all. But I've been told that when you are playing this, you do want to go ahead and use TD-T3, which is the 81 scenario there. Apparently there are some... yeah, apparently there's like some mistakes in that. What was it now? I think one of the ships has like 3,000 belt armor. I can't recall which one it was, actually. Hang on a second, let me get rid of that. There we go, get rid of the view count. And if only the actual chat box would work, that'd be brilliant. But we'll take a look at that in just a sec. Okay. Yes, I can imagine it's going to be a completely different point of view from the Allied side. Just the amount of resources on show available could be potentially tremendous. So we'll take a look over here then at Pearl Harbor, see what we have to begin with. So we have these standards over here, which is none too different, okay. See, of course, I'm not familiar with the actual US Allied side. So, not super sure if anything is... just clicked on that twice, is tremendously different. Possibly, it might be similar names but different classes, so it makes it a little bit harder to actually recognize. Porter class over here. That's some really nice endurance, quite jealous of that. Well, what we'll do here then is we'll take a look at what we have on show then, in terms of air power. So I'll take a look here by fighters. So we see a lot of Mohawks, okay, Warhawks. Some buffaloes over here, wildcats, okay, so it doesn't look tremendously different. I got rid of fighters. Oh, it's a medium bomber, okay, cool. And there will be those of you out there who actually will recognize these aircraft and what might be different. Probably not the best place to actually start showing it. So what we'll do then is we'll go ahead and take a look at active ships. So I'll start by CVs to begin with then. Okay, well there we go, we can see one's new already, the Constitution, we have United States, Lexington, Saratoga, Enterprise, Jean-Fourie, yeah. That's a lot of light carriers, wow, okay. Let's take a look at the Constitution. So the Constitution is a Lexington class carrier, that is pretty cool, I like that. Yes, a Buffalo here to begin with again, so not tremendous, but yeah, such a beautiful ship, do very much like this, it's a great carrier. The United States, so we're looking at another 2 Lexingtons here, and then we have a Joffrey, and she's fast. She's so fast. 25 knot cruise speed is just amazing. It is incredible, man. I'm just so impressed. It is interesting, however. She doesn't appear to have anything. I did see something where supposedly the French fleet in the mod is meant to represent, obviously, like, I don't know how it was put. I think it's about the hulls. Let me see. Not having actually arrived on the hulls, or the fleet not being ready, something of that nature. I can't recall exactly what the situation is. Yeah, Constitution class. It's not intended to have 3,000 belt armor. I like that. I'm trying to see what I can actually find something about the French, but that's fine, we can take a look at the French later on. But it seems like, obviously, in 42 you can have the ship actually upgraded, so that'd take 40 days. So I suppose that keeps the French from being immediately active, which is interesting, but it is a very nice ship there. It's got a good amount of AA, a fair amount of AA. Capacity is not bad, it's about the size of a British sort of carrier there, really. But indeed, yeah, just remarkably fast, very, very fast. There we go, so we have 2 Joffrey class French carriers, and they're both over here at Tahiti, that's cool. As we have Hermes, Hermes being Hermes. Melbourne, wow, look at that. So that's a Melbourne class, so that's obviously a converted ship there. That's pretty cool, that's a lot of AA though. Oh, no, that's Hermes. Melbourne. That's a lot of AA. That's actually a tremendous amount of AA there. Wow, okay, holy moly. Vindictive New Zealand class. Yeah, so we have Wellington, Vindictive, Charlotte, Jacksonville, Vengeful, Nike, Savannah, Frankfurt, Reprisal, Judgment, Toulon, Jura, Béarn, Languedoc, Roussillon. So that's a band class. Yep, okay. That's quite a investment of French assets then, isn't it, really? Yeah, so they're all French carriers over here then. These are Vindictive. Okay, so that's actually really intriguing, just how much a difference that actually makes. If I go ahead and go ahead and take a look over here to Tahiti. Okay, so yeah, Tahiti's actually massively built up here. Size 5, 16,000, no, 160,000 supplied, 96,000 units of fuel. 74 ships here, 185 aircraft. Yeah, so Tahiti's no joke. Tahiti is no bloody joke. It is worth a lot of victory points though, which is intriguing. But good luck trying to take it. Is there actually production here? Is there industry on the island? I mean, I don't know how big Tahiti is, but... wow. That's impressive. Okay, well, there's resource production. There's no fuel production, but that's pretty nasty. Yeah, Tahiti's definitely had a shot of adrenaline there, so a good old shot of something in the arm there. Right, 240mm guns. I can imagine that's probably not what Tahiti has normally, but it seems rather impressive. So yes, we do have a free French over here. We'll take a look at the actual air assets then. Right, we have Armageddons. I know it's Brigade, but come on, you've got to make the joke. So what is their range like? So their normal is 8. They can use drop tanks, which takes them to 14. So 12, 14. Not bad, really. Apologies, I've got a bit of a cold at the moment. Yeah, not bad. Not bad, really. It's something they can use. It's obviously additional patrol planes out there. Some Catalina's over here. The Curtis, which is a rather striking fighter, to say the very least. Yeah. It does have a 50 cal and a 30 cal there. 1,000-pound bomb though. Oh, it's a dive bomber. Right, that makes more sense. I thought it was like some sort of fighter to begin with. And that makes more sense. Yep, they're set to naval. I'm going to mispronunciate all these names here, which is terrible of me. Nice torpedo. Yeah, so that's a torpedo bomber there. Okay. That's a float plane. Range ain't bad. It's no Jake, but that's not bad. It's pretty decent compared to a lot of things that the Allies do have to begin with. And we'll take a look at the actual ships over here then. In Port at Tahiti. Right, so we do have a number of actual carriers, we do have a number of actual battleships. So it looks like it's at least January 42 before the actual French fleet gets into action. We can see then she's actually upgraded, obviously she gains her armament. But yeah, that's no joke, that's radar, those are 380mm guns. Her endurance ain't bad. She's well armoured. She's fast, 15 knot cruise speed is to be expected really. She's got decent AA. And she's pretty nasty, She does not play nice. There we go as well. Oh, she's actually immediately ready for service, that's very nice. Endurance is quite low, to be fair. She's not really made for going terribly far. But obviously if you can keep her fuel, she'll be good to go. A good deal of armour there, good deal of actual firepower. And we do have a Dunkirk class, wow. I love these guys. All forward-facing guns, liking it. So we do have 8 330mm guns. The AA isn't exactly terrible. It's not exactly amazing, but then again, this is it, isn't it, really? We take a look at the AA, we do have these 37mm, which are about as useful as the Japanese 25mm, but hey, 3K. Yeah, that's why her AA is so bad. It just doesn't really have that range. It'd be okay against, like, torpedo bombers. It's going to have a good chance against torpedo bombers. But dive bombers will already be dropping at that altitude there, really. So it's more of a vengeance weapon. That's great. That's actually really great. It's nice to see the Japanese aren't the ones, only ones getting slammed with the AA hammer. Let's see. So we do have a couple light cruisers. Yeah, that's better. So we do have some dual-purpose 75s. Not super great, but still good. Still good. At least it's dual-purpose. It's got the range there to actually reach out. Once again, I mean, 14k yards is no joke. Still very useful. That's such a beautiful ship. Yeah, this is better. So we have the 90mm there. We do have more of them as well, dual purpose. These 40mm Bofors, they're really good. Like, they can actually do something against the dive bombers as well. Not a tremendous amount, obviously, because they're still going to be down there at that altitude. They'll be dropping about 3, 4, 5. Is usually where they drop. They might drop even lower, about 2k. So at least you do get a chance to actually fire them before they do drop. It's just obviously not much time there, really. But not bad. I'm liking the look of these ships so far. Yeah, you can see just how fast these ships are. 43 knots is ridiculous. Very nice. I'd have to really play through the game to get like a true feel for how these ships perform. Right. That can't be right at 36. That can't be right. If that means that she has 36 reloads of torpedoes, then okay. But that doesn't seem right. I might just be misreading that. So yeah, we do have a good number of actual destroyers. Oh god, do we have a Surcouf? That'd be awesome. Redoubtable. Casablanca. Nice endurance. From a Japanese point of view, I'm quite glad that they don't have search planes. Surcouf, yes! Oh, yes! Oh, that's great. I'd love to use the Surcouf, man. Look at that. I mean, her crew speed ain't bad, but look at those guns there. 203mm guns, my god. She's got a fair amount of torpedoes, though. She does have some AA. I mean, those 37mm don't really matter if they AA capabilities, they're good and all, but actually having that, having those for actual shooting at ships is good. We do have a float plane. There's a cool looking plane, but that's really cool. So there we go, the Surcouf is in the game. Liking that. We gotta have one Surcouf, unless these are Surcoufs. Yeah, wow. I'm liking that. I'm gonna sneeze. Just 1 second. Oh, sorry. Oh, I don't know what it is. I think it might be just a small amount of hay fever actually lately. There we go. I'm liking that though. So we do have an auxiliary tender over here. Aviation tender. Look at that guy. That guy is amazingly beautiful. That's actually a bloody big complement of aircraft. 48, Jesus. Yeah, she can handle 26, but she's got torpedo capability. Sortie capability. Okay, that's interesting then. So it seems like she could actually operate underway then as almost like a mini carrier. That's really quite intriguing. She's very slow at 21 knots, but she's got the cruise speed at 15 knots to actually keep up with most things. That's actually really quite interesting. So we have float fighters, and we have float torpedo bombers. Yeah, that's really intriguing. I'm liking that. That's pretty cool. There's a lot of differences in the game, actually. There's a lot of, like, additional assets that really don't fit the meta, per se. So we have a Tahiti auxiliary power dock over here, which can actually move at 5 knots. Well, lucky them. It's slow, but it could get moving. Okay. Pacific S cargo. That's a nice looking ship. Oh, I'm liking it. Couple tube transports over here. That is a big old boy. That's certainly a big old boy there. Very nice. Okay, so that's a quick look at the actual French there. And not terribly exhaustive in terms of actual detail. But I'd have to really play the game to get an actual feel of how they play. Well, this is actually rather intriguing then, so we can see that there's a number of actual other garrisons out this way. There's not a lot of supply, though. You'd obviously have to keep the French forces in supply, so you're going to have to... Yeah, Tahiti really easy making or breaking of the French forces out here in the Pacific then. Which is rather intriguing, so it does give you a base of operations quite far in the south over here, really. Oh, we have a carrier force over here, actually. So Jacksonville, Frankfurt, and we also have the battlecruiser Ranger and Constellation. Constitution class? Oh no, she's not broken, she got 325. Must be just like a bug displayed in the actual directory then the database. She's armed with 16-inch guns, very cool. She's fast, yes indeed. She's well armoured, yeah. Very nice there. We have 5-inch dual-purpose guns, those are fantastic. 1.1s, yeah, again, like, just about as useful as most Japanese AA, but on the whole, she's a very nice ship. Ranger, yeah. And so we have here 2 Constellation-class battle cruisers. I mean, this would be fantastic. So we have Indianapolis over here. We have Salt Lake City. It just radically just radically changes the entire ebb and flow of the entire Pacific campaign out here, really. There's just significant amount of additional factors that one has to take into consideration. So Suva's a level 3 port and airbase, that's cool. A little bit of light industry there's nice. Pego, Pego. Up a go, up a go. Catalina's out here. Cool. Let's take a look over here at New Zealand then. So, I love the blue of the New Zealand forces, that's really nice. So we have the battlecruiser New Zealand. She's a repulse class. Cool. We have Leander Achilles. Yeah, 15-inch guns. She's pretty good. She's pretty good. She's fast as well. She's got decent AA. 4-inch guns there, dual purpose. They're good. Torpedoes are nice. Radar's good. These 20mm, I mean, they're not superb, obviously, because they're range there, but you know what? You can actually make use of them, really. Actually, it's a nice little aircraft. Sorry, nice little aircraft, nice little ship. Okay, so we have a good number of other ships over here. I would go through them in more detail, but I don't really particularly recognize the names, so if anybody does see something they do want to see, let me know. So we do have a number of actual destroyers out here, then. Okay, so let's take a look at the New Zealander forces. So we do see that we have French New Caledonia over here. Yeah, so New Caledonia is actually a significant threat as well now. As we have the Toulon on bad. We have Provence, Lorraine. That's cool. Yeah, and these guys, 12 knots, they're I think they're about the same speed as the standards, aren't they? US standards. They do have 340mm guns, however. And the AA is pretty abysmal. We have the band. I'm liking it. Yeah. I will definitely post a link below for the mod. It was quite simple to install, actually. I'll show that just at the end of the video, just how I did it. It really doesn't take too long. But yeah, that's actually quite a formidable amount of force that you have there, man. As we see 8,500 supply, sorry, 8,500 fuel, 70,000 supply. That's a hell of a lot more industry out there. A repair shipyard as well. Yeah, wow. So New Caledonia is quite the little prize there if you ever did take it. What do we have here? La Lafoa Garrison. So it seems like the French have a good deal of naval power and air power. Not a tremendous amount of actual ground forces, however. I mean, that's a colonial regiment there, so mixed colonial regiment. And they are militia, but they're not bad militia. 50-50 is not too bad. They do have actual equipment. Those 25mm AT guns are actually quite useful against against Japanese tanks. Yeah, okay. Comac is built up level 1, level 2, level 5, level 6. Yeah, so New Caledonia is really quite a hot topic. I feel like I will end up missing a significant amount of things here. Right, so we have Canberra, Perth, Ajax. We do have a CVL out here. We do have a number of actual destroyers here as well. Tankers, APs. We have Queen Elizabeth out here. Queen Elizabeth is the queen of speed, though. I mean, that speed is just redonkulous. She is a tremendous prize. Absolutely tremendous. Okay. But yeah, we have the Melbourne over here. She's pretty useful. I'm not gonna lie, it gives you something to do with the Australian Navy, really. It dramatically increases their power. But then again, the Japanese Navy is dramatically empowered as well, as we see more destroyers out this way. Again, if you guys do see something, do let me know. But something that you'd like to see, do let me know. I probably missed a lot of things already, which is the nature of the game, really. Oh dear. Let's take a look at Port Moresby then. So, size 2, 4, okay. There's light industry over here at Port Moresby, which is interesting. I don't think there actually is traditionally, which is an interesting development. We actually do have resource production over here at Rabaul then. So Rabaul's actually a real nice prize there. I mean, that repair shipyard, the light industry, I mean, the repair shipyard alone is actually really quite interesting. Having that light industry would actually play really, yeah, light industry over here. This is really intriguing, man. So it looks like the New Guinea area has actually been built up, man. I see Hudson's, Buffalo's, Catalina's out here. Yeah, so the New Guinea area is no joke. I think this is it. The mod is essentially, yeah, the navies are no joke. The situation is not the same. You are going to have to fight. But then again, the Japanese can win victories like they can in the actual vanilla game. It's just all about actually knowing where these forces are and how to use your own forces. The King William class, I mean, that is a Dutch battle cruiser. That is superb. That's gorgeous. And look at that. It's a shame that these 12cm guns are not dual purpose. So this AA is seemingly large. It does have radar, which is great. But yeah, the 40 mils are going to be alright. You can actually use the 40 mils, but they're not really terribly long ranged, are they? But you know what, I wouldn't say no to them. I would not say no to them. Their cruise speed is actually pretty damn good there at 18 knots. So for De Ruyter. Oh, that's a different De Ruyter there. Another De Ruyter. I'm probably mispronunciating that. And we have a CLAA. Yeah, there you go. That's what you want there. 4-inch. Yeah, that's a pretty damn effective platform there. It's got radar. Yep. Okay, so the Dutch Navy is pretty damn effective. They've still got the Soribaya with her 280mm guns. She's bloody armored as well. My God, she's a gorgeous little thing though. She's so slow, but she's armored. She can be quite effective, I imagine, if you got into the right situation. So we've seen a larger, I assume a larger Dutch Air Force. I'm liking it. Yeah, it's going to have a cursory glance here today. It would be interesting to play the game out and just hear how the actual game played, really. We do have another CLAA over here. We have a Salamander. Again, yeah, she's very useful. Those 4-inch guns there with a 15,000 yard range, you can do quite a bit with that. Quite like that. So we have a number of actual Dutch destroyers. Very nice. Okay. Right, so we have Java and Celebes. So we have a Java class. And we have another Java class. Liking it. CLAA. Gatherland. Yeah, okay. As the Dutch Navy is much larger, obviously additional cruisers. 2 battle cruisers as well is quite formidable. Additional destroyers, it seems like. It looks like these bases are built up as well. Yeah, these are additional built-up bases, which is really quite good. It's incredible. I'd have to take a look at actually the origin story behind the mod just to really see how all this stuff actually came to be. And the idea is that obviously there was an arms race in the Pacific, really, when the Japanese essentially broke the treaty requirements, I believe it was, or the treaty rules. So we have the Vindictive CVL. We have Prince of Wales. She doesn't look right. She looks different. It might just be me, but maybe, I don't know. Then again, I don't get to see the King George V class often, but she looks different. Might just be me. Probably just me, actually. And then we go Repulse. Cool. As we actually, yeah, we have a mix of actual aircraft out here. Are they... So these are New Zealand aircraft. We have some Australians out here then. Obviously British aircraft. Cool. Right, so we have light cruisers here. What do we actually have in the port of Singapore then? So we have Mauritius. Fiji class cruiser. From what I know of these guys, they're quite effective. AMCs, okay. Dominion Monarch, I have a personal vengeance against her. Personal vendetta. She's a big boy. Cool. How's Singapore itself look then? So that looks like more industry then. Yeah, more industry. I think about the same resources as far as I can tell. Yeah, you'd have to go really side by side in the actual vanilla game and then this game and just really see what the differences are. There's a lot here to take into consideration. But we can see here then obviously the Japanese do have forces over here then. So obviously yes, this is still December 7th, so yeah. I suppose at least the Japanese player does have surprise attack on their side still. But then again, it's one of those where you're going to have to choose your targets, aren't you? Okay. I'll go through things in a little bit of detail, really. Just taking a quick look, really. Bit of a cursory glance. Again, I'm not going to recognize if there's any particularly different classes here of submarine or something of that nature. Okay, electric boats there. Right. I think Manila's a little bit more built up. How does Bataan look? So we have here... Okay. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. More of a naval build-up then. We do also have a French base out this way as well. So the French are really quite interesting. I suppose it's one of these cases of there's a lot of resistance there that could be offered by the French. But if you actually do seize their bases of operation, you do stand to gain quite a bit. I mean, 7,200 supply, 6,000 fuel, 7,200 supply is a lot of supply there to take. It's a sizable port, but that's actually really quite considerably useful. A couple of destroyers here then. So it's not tremendously well protected from the sea. But we do see those aircraft here as well. Fighters and the like. Yeah, so what's the actual garrison there? There's about 244, so it's not a terribly small garrison either. The terrain, however, what is the terrain? The terrain is clear. Secondary roads, but it's ultimately doomed due to the fact that it is in clear terrain. And there's level 3 fortifications, it's got a size 6 airfield though, so it's really not a joke. I mean, this is it. The Americans could potentially position forces over there in southern China. Hong Kong. Yeah, Hong Kong would be an interesting one, really. As we do see a couple of actual destroyers in ports over here then. Montreal, Austral. Ah, President Coolidge class. Interesting. That's pretty cool. Nice big troop transport there. And plenty of motor torpedo boats. We do also see destroyers here then. And 323 sold there. So it does seem to have a larger garrison, which is interesting. Yeah, you'd have to take a look and see how the Japanese forces actually look as well. So obviously that would be harder to take. No idea regarding the Chinese. They might be in a similar position, starting position than they otherwise might appear, I suppose. I can't see how the Chinese would be empowered tremendously. Okay. Yeah, always a lot of industry actually at Calcutta. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty amazing. So we actually have the French enclave over here as well. And that's a size 3. It's got a shipyard, size 4 airfield. Again, no joke. We have a carrier here. We actually have some French heavy cruisers. Those are beautiful looking heavy cruisers. Yeah, I mean, 75s aren't amazing, but then again, there's a good number of 75s, so that could be pretty effective. Torville. No radar, but yeah, still very effective. Still plenty of use in those guys. Pondicherry. ARD. Yeah, good number of actual aircraft here. So again, yeah, it's just it's just icing on the cake. Right. Okay, so we see Hermes and Nike. So we have another Hermes class over here. Cornwall. Okay, a couple KVs, these corvettes. So those corvettes are pretty nasty. Again, submarines, really. Exeter. Enterprise. And we have Glasgow. What do we have in Port Vena Colombo? Caledonia. Cameron class. Again, yeah, she's quite handy there. Okay, that's pretty cool. Size 9 port, size 5 airfield. See, this is it. I'm not familiar with the Allied forces in the early days, or really their order of battle per se. So a lot of these things could be radically different, and I wouldn't recognize it immediately anyway. AP's out this way. Okay. What we'll do then is we'll figure out where the US forces are then. Right. So we have the United States on Lexington, Portland, Chicago, Astoria. Yeah. Looks like they're in the process of operating an offensive plan out here. And then we have Constitution and Enterprise. Yorktown class. Yeah. A completely different situation then, just all round. Catalina's, Vindicators, Buffalo. Take a look at the American coastline then. So we have San Diego. So we have Saratoga then. Yeah. Burlington, Northampton class. The Rome class. Well, so there's the Rome. Omaha. I'm liking it. This is pretty awesome. And what do we have over here in the north then? As we do have 2 battleships over here. So we have Colorado and Warspite. I think they actually do begin there. Yes, okay. So essentially we find both sides, the Japanese and the Allied one, are just... I mean, this is it. Can you ever truly be prepared for war? Well, this is it, isn't it? Just as the Allies are empowered, so are the Japanese. And so I do wonder how long the war would last, actually. It does dramatically change force calculation. It changes a hell of a lot of things, really. So I do wonder how the actual situation would work out in the end. Would it actually lead to a bloodier war, essentially? Yeah, patrol boats. And not bad little things there, really. That's pretty cool. I was told that apparently there are more German ships in the game as well, so I need to take a look at those. I think like heavy cruisers or something like that. I did get shouted at. They're like, how'd you miss that? And I'm like, well, you know, it's me. Let's see then. Congo, Fuso, Issei. Oh, Scharnhorst! There we go, look at that. She's fast, okay. 11.1-inch guns. Not a tremendous amount of range there, but yeah, effective penetration is good. 5.9s. That's pretty Oh, they're not dual purpose, but we do have dual purpose 4.1s. We do have torpedoes here. We're not with a tremendous amount of range. We have 37s, 20mm. She's got an admirable amount of AA, but she actually does have radar, and that is a really big thing, actually. Having radar is a tremendous advantage there for the Japanese to even have. Because, yeah, this is it. The Japanese just don't have it for a long time. See if I missed anything else. Oh, yes, the Imperator Deutschland. Look at that. That's a good cruise speed. Yeah, so we have the 8-inch guns. We have the 4.1-inch secondary guns here. Again, they are dual purpose, which is really good. Torpedoes, additional torpedoes. We have 37s. That's a lot of AA, actually. That's pretty nice. And again, radar. Take a look at the Deutschland. A large cruiser. Some would say a pocket battleship. And I can see why. And she's fast. She's got the 11s, she's got the 5.9, she's got 4.1s as well. The torpedoes, yeah, they're very similarly armed, but this is actually quite effective. Her armor isn't exactly incredible, but yeah, she could be a formidable piece of work. And this is it. She can deal with cruisers quite handedly there, really. Quite handedly. Okay. And so we're going to go ahead and call it there for today. Shukakukai. That's a big carrier. It's a big carrier. But yeah, there you go. I will post a link when the video is uploaded. So until next time, thank you for watching. It's been a blast. Looking forward to actually seeing a little bit more about the mod, actually. It would be a lot of fun. You guys will have to let me know if there's something I missed, something you'd like to see in the mod. And let me know what you think. What do you think were the events that led to this sort of outbreak of war? And this sort of alternate history. Until next time, thank you for watching. Goodbye for now.